Hey guys, it's Gray here again, and this time I'm doing a reaction video on the figure Arisia from the Omni Girls DC comic series. I don't actually have her comic, sadly. I'm trying to look for it, but they don't really tell you when. And like for Omni Girls, it's weird. Like some of them they did make a comic for, some of them they didn't. Arisia was one of the ones that I feel like they didn't. They did Carol Ferris, they did a few of them, like they did Wonder Woman, and also weirdly enough, instead of Hal Jordan, Carol Ferris was with Jimmy Olsen at one point, and she got her heart broken by Jimmy. Yeah, confusing. But Arisha was one of my favorite characters. They did her in the second Green Lantern animated movie, which was pretty awesome. But she was a trainee, which makes sense if you actually go by this history, but not so much practicality. It's like Kilowog. He was there first before Hal, but you know, if you actually go off by the storylining, it is somewhat confusing. She was originally of Sector 2815, which is kind of weird because you would say that's right next to 2814, which is Hal Jordan and Earth and all that. So someone would notice the planet covered in life with Arisia near it. So, but having turned under her father, I can't remember what his name was, she chose to become a Green Lantern. And personally, she keeps on paying for it, but out of everybody in this whole series, she is one of the few that I would say is pretty smart. But the downside is of her figure is she sometimes easily comes out of this thing, like she pops out sometimes. And personally, I only bought the figure because it was cheap at the time. And considering that most of these things can go for a lot of money, I bought it for $10 at a garage sale, which was awesome. Considering I'm a Green Lantern fan, and it was in good condition. The only downside is she doesn't move her arms or anything whatsoever. And she's in a skimpy outfit, which, yeah, I'm all pro woman thing. I'm fine with that. I actually kind of prefer her old costume where she actually has a lot more coverage and actually leggings compared to this. Like, really, what is the practical use of wearing something like this? Like, but then again, Omni Girls was also written by a few women as well, so I'm not actually being 100% on which one is which, but you know. And also, I don't get how boxing gloves work if you only have one ring and it's on this hand. So, how is there another one in the hand that she's not using? It makes no sense. Like, you would think there would be a construct going around or something. But I digress. Considering Arisia is one of my favorite females in Green Lantern Corps, other than Jade, because, Alan Scott's daughter. But out of everybody in the universe, like, they put so much detail into her. If you actually look at her face, like, they got every single design, even the eye colors down on pat. Whereas in the comics, she really doesn't have that much design quality other than the facial features. Like, no eye color whatsoever. Superman is the same way. No, none whatsoever. Hal Jordan, none. Kat Matui, none. Like, so you gotta admit that I am actually fine with them doing something like that. Like, they actually gave her more details, which I feel like Omni Girls was all about more so than anything, was actually giving them more details and more female empowerment. But I digress. I bought this at a garage sale, like I said. Bought it on the cheap for $10, and it's in well condition. The only downside is that you have to clean it every now and again because there is no box to keep it protected. So, like it gets dust because of what it's made out of every now and again. Like, Just look at this. Like, for instance, and I dusted this last week, and it's covered in dust again. This thing attracts more dust than anything I've ever met in my life. But maybe that's why they decided to sell it at that garage sale. And I know it's weird buying one of those Japanese things from another person off secondhand, because you never know what that person could have done, but yeah, you're never getting a better price than $10. Half the time some of these things go for 30 or 50 bucks. Quite literally, even out of the box. Like, there was one guy in Mercari selling one of these same figures for 50 bucks. 50 bucks, like, that's way outrageous for something that doesn't even move. But you gotta admit, it has great designs, and they actually use, like, for instance, look at the detail on the boots. Like, for instance, the only downside is that, you know, like I said, it pops out of place if you touch it too long. So yeah, well, I hope you guys do like this video. Please like, subscribe. Have a nice day.